SSR is sprayless scratch repair. Tried, tested, proven in the field, and patented. You can paint your own future. Hi, how you doing? I'm Chase Walker with SSR. Today I'm going to introduce you to a revolutionary paint touch-up product that was developed by my partner Chuck White in Dallas, Texas. We introduced SSR at the SEMA show in Las Vegas in the year 2002. Today is your opportunity to learn just how easy it is to use, just how easy it is to learn, to work on cars and make money. SSR will address about 80% of the scratches that you see on a day-to-day basis on any dealership lot, and we'll show you that the paint stays in the scratch. It doesn't matter if you wax it, if you wash it, if you polish it, if you pressure wash it. SSR stays, and SSR is permanent. Bear with us now. We'll take a walk into the shop. We'll see how it's done. First, we'll take a look at the equipment. These are the materials and products that you'll be using in this process, and they include your buffer, the Velcro backing plate, buffing pads, paint brushes, regular towels, microfiber towels, paper cups, the mixing sticks, latex gloves, buffing compound, and of course the SSR paint. Before we begin, let's discuss the specially formulated and patented paint you'll use for SSR repairs. With SSR, you don't need an exact color match to the vehicle to be repaired. A general rule of thumb is to use a darker color than the vehicle to be repaired if it's a dark color. If the vehicle is a light color, use a paint that is a shade or two lighter than the vehicle's color. With exposure to the elements, the compound, and the heat from the buffer, darker paints tend to lighten and lighter paint tends to darken. For these reasons, you will be using the 7 basic SSR colors most of the time. These 7 basic colors are dark red, dark blue, white, silver, dark green, flat red, and black. There are 200 colors pre-mixed to factory specifications provided in the system. All of the 200 paint colors may be used to perform the SSR services we will demonstrate today. However, most of the 200 colors will be used to provide an exact or close match for covering larger scratches, chips, and edges in your repairs. We'll begin today with typical scratch damage, illustrated by the small scratches on the hood of our demonstration vehicle. You should only do one panel at a time, as the SSR paint may be difficult to remove if it is left on the vehicle for longer than 4 minutes. Now, this will vary with heat and humidity, so take the time to learn how your climate will affect the drying time of the SSR paints. You will note that with this dark blue car, our technician is using black paint. Wearing latex gloves, you wipe down the repair area with a towel, removing all dust particles. We recommend that you clean the scratch with lacquer thinner to remove any wax or dirt in the scratch. Next, be sure to shake your paint thoroughly. Wearing your latex gloves, apply the paint by hand, pushing and rubbing it into the scratches in a spiral or circular motion. This will get the paint down into the scratch and not leave much residue around it. Immediately after applying the paint and it has dried, squeeze the buffing compound around the fresh paint. Keeping enough polish on the surface will prevent burning the paint. Don't be afraid to put too much polish on. With a pad on your buffer, smear the compound over the paint. You want to make sure you spread the compound evenly over the surface. This is to minimize splatter and cleanup time later on. Start the buffer slowly and begin the buffing process. Buff at 800 to 1000 RPMs and absolutely no higher. This is a very critical part of the process. Use the SSR buffing pads. They are proven tools that will give you dependable results. Keep them clean. Wash them in cold water and air dry them. You may apply 15 to 20 pounds of pressure to expedite paint removal, but keep plenty of polish in the area to avoid burning the paint. Buff until all the paint disappears except what's left in the scratch. As necessary, you can add more polish. Again, spread the polish with the buffing pad and then turn on the buffer and buff until the paint disappears. We recommend that you repeat this process no more than 3 times. When you are satisfied with the job, wipe the repaired area down again with a micro towel. The The micro towel will smooth out and blend the edges of the repair into the non-repaired area. The entire process requires just a little bit of paint, a little bit of polish, in about 8 minutes. Now, let's use the SSR method with larger scratches. Observe this severe scratch on our demonstration vehicle. Bear in mind that if the scratches or chipped areas are too wide, the SSR system doesn't work. The buffer will simply cup the paint out of the deeper scratches and chips. After you've touched up all the minor chips and scratches with the SSR process, then go back over the vehicle and check it out real good. Then you take your brush and your paint and the factory-coated specific paint and touch the door edges, the bigger chips and the bigger scratches, and you'll be finished. To start, wipe the area thoroughly with a clean cloth. After selecting your paint, be sure to shake the bottle thoroughly. You may apply the paint with a shop towel or with the tips of your fingers. Rub the paint in with a circular motion. Push and scrub as necessary. Make sure you get the paint into the bottom of the scratch. You may keep applying the paint until it dries and stops moving. Bear in mind that the paint dries in about 4 minutes or less, faster in hot and cold temperatures and slower in humid temperatures. This is why it's very important that you don't apply too much paint to the affected area that you're working on, because ridges will leave a warped appearance after the buffing process. When you are satisfied with the application, immediately apply your polish. Without turning the buffer on, smear the polish with the buffer pad, smoothing it over the paint, and begin the buffing process. You can continue to buff and add polish as necessary. Buff an area until you're sure all the paint residue is gone from around the repair. After buffing, you may need to apply more paint to some areas. Apply the needed paint, apply the polish, and continue the buffing process. You'll continue this process of adding paint and buffing for up to 3 times until you're satisfied with the repair. When you are pleased with the results, wipe the repair area down with the micro towel once more, blending into the surrounding edges. Now, let's talk about touch-up painting with a brush. Note the edges of the repair. You cannot satisfactorily use the buff process on edges, as the buffing pad burns the paint. Also, the paint will not adhere to scratches or chips that are too wide or too deep. For this reason, you choose a matching color from your SSR system and a paintbrush to touch up the edges. All the SSR paints are pre-mixed to factory specifications. You will add a few drops of the activator to speed up the drying process and make the repair permanent. Activator serves as instant heat. Once the activator and the paint are in the cup, you can stir them with a stir stick or with a paintbrush, and you're ready to go. Now, using your brush, apply the paint to those damaged edges. We think the SSR process is a real innovation to traditional touch-up repairs. Let's take a look at a before shot of the typical repair. And now observe the magic of SSR. A look at the more severe damage before and after SSR shows you just how fast and easy touch-up can be with the SSR system. Okay folks, that's it. This video and your tech tip sheet should give you all the tools you need to get started with the SSR process. Welcome to the SSR team. Remember, if you need any further help, you can always call tech support. The numbers are going to be listed right after this. Good luck and make some money.